use the shotgun. The Kodak. I want to big that 9. Yeah, I want to big that 9. I want to big that 9. I want to big that 9.
I wanted to protect him while he carries the assignment to capture several important points on the battlefield. Once all points are secure, you will move on the enemy captain. Eliminate him, and the battle is ours.
You're about to be dead.
I'm not gonna be like stuff.
It's hard for everybody. You know I'm not right.
Why always? Oh, what was I doing? I'm about to play some videos.
And if you've been depressed and down and feeling like your life is perishing, maybe
that really sucks about that laptop, man.
Dang it. I've been disconnected.
That sucks. That sucks.
I'll go back for her.
Huh?
I'll go back for her.
She should have been panicking extra, child. When I spilled water, there's been times I accidentally spilled water on my laptop. I was like, honey. And I hate to have to, talk y'all hours in, but I don't want y'all to keep making those mistakes. Mm-hmm. That's true. And it's funny she said real estate because I was wanting to look into that.
Good. Well, I will not see this shot. So.
See, that's why I always be falling for them air signs, because they just, I don't know. It's like I have a love and hate relationship. I don't like to use the word hate, but especially them damn Aquarius, man. I tend to get with Aquarius. I don't like Gemini men, but Aquarius men and Libra men, I gotta stay away from them, child, because I've been in. Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
Only the strongest deserve to survive.
had Chloe sleep. She be talking about. Hey. What you? Hey, girl, just sitting here. I had a long conversation with my kids because you know I was telling you my mom had bought the kids laptops for Christmas. Girl, why did my daughter spill water on her laptop? Yes. And the crazy thing, I didn't notice that her laptop was on the table at first. And she was like, "Oh, mommy, I spilled water." So I was like, "Okay, just clean it up." So then I was like, I saw it and I was like, "Yo," I said, "You didn't get it on the laptop, did you?" And she was like, "No." And I was like, "Okay." But then I was looking and I guess like God was like really keeping my focus over there. And I was like, Next thing I know, I told my son, I said, just turn the I was like, let me see. And I'm glad, we noticed like all this water coming from the side of the laptop. And I was like, oh my God. And right, girl, that's what I was saying. And the crazy thing, she had plugged up the charger port and she was about to put the charger in the laptop.
Oh, that would have fried it. Well, it was fried anyway, but that would have definitely fried it.
Right. And I was like, oh, I was like, damn. So I had this long talk with them because she basically lied. And I'm trying to get on them now about that. So they get older, they won't be, full-blown liars and stuff like that. So I didn't think it was going to last. Exactly. So, girl, exactly. Yeah, that was exactly what I was trying to explain to her. Like, I get it. She was scared that she was gonna get in trouble. But I was telling her, I said, that could have been dangerous for you because what if I didn't know? What if we didn't what if I wasn't focused on that? Yeah, like that would have been, just exactly. So I was like, now I'm and so I mean I wanted to talk to them for like about 30 minutes, but it ended up being like 2 hours or whatever. Girl, I'm like, I'm sounding like my dad now. Lord.
Freak! I ran out of ammo.
Yes, my daughter went straight to sleep. I'm like, I gotta stop going so long. I was like, I'm sure they get the point because I start with one thing and then I start talking about everything else. Like, that's so funny. Exactly. Girl, I was talking about serial killers and how they started as kids. Girl, I went way off it. How they started like with small lies and small little things because they don't, work on it. It gets out of hand. And yeah. And I know my son be like, "Mom," because I was like, no one thinks they're gonna be a criminal. No one thinks they're gonna be a narcissist. No one thinks they're gonna. Oh Lord, but yeah. So I'm drained. I'm like, what the hell did I do? I'm drained. It's how it's good that I talk to them, but still. Oh Lord. But yeah, so that's how I was doing. Prior to that, I was doing some work or whatever. I didn't go tonight, but I am gonna go in the morning. Yeah, so my schedule it hasn't been like consistent with just mornings like I planned it to be. But it's been off and on, yeah, but I'm gonna get it. Fully. But I've still been going. Mm-hmm.
It's been better for me to go in the late evenings, like after they go to bed. But by the time, I gotta like lay down with my daughter and read to her, like sing and do all of this stuff. By the time I do all of that, I'll be about knocked out with her.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. One time I made myself just put my gym clothes on before I lay down with her to get her to sleep. And we were next morning in my gym clothes. I was like, okay, well, I can just go now. I woke up like 6. Just go down, come back at 7 and get them ready for school or whatever. So that's what I end up doing. So I might have to just stick to that during the week, just get up at 6 and go for an hour and then coming back and get them ready for school.
Yes, and you know what? I may do that too because several years when I lost weight, I did that. I would wake up at like 5 and I would go early, and it was real successful. It actually was, it worked for me. Yeah. Girl, I cannot stand going to the gyms in the evening. I cannot stand it. So like I tried my best. But sometimes, I'd rather go in the evening than not to go.
If it's like late night, maybe like after 10, then I like to go drink because it's empty. But like the after work crowd, definitely not.
Ooh, girl, it'd be.
I ain't gonna be able to do it.
Exactly. And so.
As you mentioned it, I think I could get up because I was gonna get up and go get my eyebrows and stuff done in the morning. So I'm like, if I still up and get up and get beautified, I could get up and get an hour in, at the gym too. So I'll just do that and then go straight to the nail salon from there.
Oh, that sounds fun. I'm gonna wait a couple of weeks. I need to get my nose done too. Oh, I did my feet today. I don't know. Well, I don't know if you know, but I used to do my own. I used to do my own like full sets and everything. Yeah, I did. And I did a really good job. I used to post pictures. I don't know if I had met you then, but yeah. So I have. Yeah. I got some pictures I can show you. Yep. I have the drill and everything, and. Oh, girl, I done done almost everything, every trade you can think of. Like, I was just more into like nails and makeup than anything. I wasn't never really into hair. Like, I wear wigs. I don't be wanting to do it. Like, all the other aspects. I'm natural. I'm natural, and so because I have like the drill and stuff, I just touch up and do my own feet, and then that saves a lot of money. But yeah.
That's why I'll be going so long because I don't always have the money to get the mani-pedi. It's usually when I go, they usually have a special with like $30 for the combo and mani-pedi or whatever. So it's not bad, but sometimes that $30 could be like, I gotta just put that on the bill or do whatever. But just in case anything goes down in the next couple of weeks.
Exactly. And that's where I've been, honestly, like that's why I've been so tight on my funds lately that I've been trying to save like everything. Even though I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get this air fry oven because that's gonna help with me eating healthy. But no, actually, I got a good deal on it because it was on sale because someone had brought it back. And at first I was skeptical, like, I don't know, like, does it work? Exactly. But the lady was saying that it worked fine and everything, and I love it. It was only $40.
Oh, really? Yeah. When I was looking at it, I saw Target at 60. It was on sale for $59.95 or something like that. So.
Yeah. Now the original price was $100. It was over $100.
Okay.
So
that might be because it looks like the one that is on the infomercial that is like that size and flat, like that one.
Oh, okay.
That might be like the original. They always put out different. Different brands. That's what you're talking about. Okay, that's good. So what kind of stuff you been making, Lemon?
I had made some cauliflower buffalo bites. That's like my favorite. Like I call it like vegan cheat meal or whatever. It's not really cheap because it's still healthy, but I made that. I made some what do you call it? Chickpea crackers. And this what else did I make? And I make some stuff. I put some stuff in there for the kids, like pizza. And the thing cooked so damn fast. I was
So they
shocked.
kind of replace like the dehydrator almost. Like
Yes.
you make your kale chips in there and stuff.
Yes, and that's the thing that I love about it because it's just like a dehydrator. It's just it just gets hotter. That's all because yeah, I mean I literally like with the dehydrator it can take hours usually, like 6, 7, depending on what it is I'm dehydrating. But with that, I put some chickpea. I made the chickpea crackers, and it took literally about 5 minutes, and they were done. Yes, and I
Like a crunchy, crispy cracker.
it was crunchy, crispy, like yes.
Yeah.
And I was
Sounds amazing.
yeah because some of the stuff like with the cauliflower bites that I made, when I would put them in the oven, it took a lot longer, and it wasn't as crispy. Um, it reminded me so much of like boneless chicken bites. It was so good. And it didn't take the cauliflower long at all. It took about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
So yeah, I love it. It was definitely worth it.
Mhm.
Girl, I'm so glad I bought it because at first I was skeptical. I'm glad I went on and went and did it.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, there's some more stuff I'll cook with it though.
Mhm.
Of course, that's how it goes.
Yeah, I didn't really get to. I only made like 2 meals this week, but I'm just been so busy because I have with the class I have the actual like class hours, and then I have the work study hours, and then now we have to start doing our clinical hours. So it's like basically that's why I was like I must just have to turn this cat back in because I'm having to spend more time and more days in these last weeks of the class than the original first 2 or 3 weeks of it wasn't as intense. But now everything's like coming together or whatever. So I'm basically doing 10 hours of the clinical, 10 hours a week of the work study, and then the class, and then still have to do homework and reading and all that on top of that. So between doing that, doing the kids, trying to get to the gym, still doing the events for the bookstore, I'm just like, yeah, I ain't got time to be on the road picking up nobody's nothing.
Girl, I was gonna say that's so much, and I know exactly what you're dealing with. Like,
Yeah.
so
I just feeling, like I was having these flares, with the, anxiety and stuff, and I was like, I just so overwhelmed. Like, I'm the type of person, like, if I can't do everything 100%, then I feel like, I be on some all or nothing sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I feel like I'm not going to be able to do it, to its fullest, potential, then I don't even really want to touch it at all. But I've been waiting so long to do this class, and I'm like, I really want to be committed, to the process. So let me not let me make that a priority because that's something that I really been wanting to do and, need to do towards getting to the goal.
Yes.
And then so as soon as I decided that, and I went and I met with one of my homeboys that I put on to get his license to do the Uber. So I was like, well, we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'll turn my car in and you can go with me to the same place and you can go get your car and start driving.
I still don't hit
I was
5
able to pick him
times.
up, and on my way to pick him up, then the real estate people
I know
called,
this one.
and I'm like, oh, so we said I was out there. With so much going on. That was like from July. I was supposed to go to that seminar. And there's a guy named Dan Merrill. He is there's a show called Twisted House that he's the star of, and basically he just goes around, different properties, buy
renovation costs really, because I've done some research on that, girl. 'Cause that's something I was. It's funny that you went to that.
Even when you got foreclosures or auctions or whatever, like they can still, be like
Yeah.
me.
Yes, yes. And depending on the house, yeah.
But yeah, I was like kind of, excited about that because I want to see the viability of doing that in the surrounding areas. I don't really know if that will work in the borough, but definitely like in the outskirts, like Westchester and Long Island, New Jersey, places like that, even like Connecticut or something like that. I would, even go that far. Start trying to flip properties and stuff like that. And I like doing renovations and like restorations on houses and stuff like that. And I think that is my pocket that I'm in now. I just like design the whole place and pick out the trends and the colors and all these different things. So that type of stuff is right up my alley.
Yes, I used to wanted to be an interior decorator, like when I was younger. Because I was always like making my own stuff. It's funny, this is like popular now, but I used to make my own stuff, like tables and chairs. I used to love doing stuff like that, creating like furniture and things like that when I was younger. Yeah, so it's interesting, like you mentioned the whole thing about real estate because that's something I have been looking up too about the homes and flipping them, and because I know that's something that's like also like really big, and it's fun. And I mean, it looks fun. I think I'm like whoa, but
Yes, I'm not the workshop is on February 2nd.
Okay.
At a hotel downtown, so it's on the phone. It's at 9 in the morning, child. Like 9 o'clock on Saturday, I'm killing it. But, I'm gonna go ahead and check it out. And at least, get the information. I'm sure there's more to it. Like, we probably want you to sign a course or whatever to get the rest of the info. But, at least I can get my foot in the water and see, what it's all about.
Exactly. Or do your own thing, like start your own.
Yeah, I'm gonna just like okay, well, what's the little bit of scoop, and then start doing my own research and figure it out, for this area and everything like that. So I was just trying to, and they said invite people, bring people with you or whatever. So my same friend Lee that I was with today, he was like, yeah, sign me up, I'll come with you. Because he's real like entrepreneurial minded, always like starting different businesses and stuff like that. So I'm like, listen, we gotta get out here. Like I told you, said earlier, I'm just aligning myself with like business minded people, trying to be entrepreneurs, trying to make things own way, and create legacy for their family.
Exactly.
I'm just surrounding myself with people like that, like, all that other stuff is, cool, party and this and that, whatever, but, like, I get to the point where I realize, like, okay, well, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, like, there's people out here that are doing what you're doing, you just have to align yourself, with them and kind of networking, so they know, what you're trying to do. And people, they'll be willing to help and to, get with you.
Yes. I mean, I love entrepreneurship. I absolutely love it. And I know that that's actually my calling. It's funny that we're talking about this because I was on the phone with my sister earlier and I was telling her how, I've always created projects. I've done it for other people. I'm always creating and starting and creating. But I said, now it's time for me to create something that is my passion and and stick with that, just that thing instead of just, doing all this different stuff. And so that's one of the things I've been focused on too, like really heavy. Because it's nothing like having your own. And I want to be able to leave. It's interesting you mentioned the legacy because that's my goal. I did a vision board. I've done a vision board before, but I did another one like yesterday. I should take a picture and show it to you. But it, you know, one of the things I put on there was have, you know, leaving my children, you know, homes and, you know, just, you know, leave something for them. You know, generational wealth, pass that thing over, you know. Yeah.
Right.
Family, you know, for generations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can pass it down, you know.
Right.
And now, like, it seems like these more recent generations are now, they're the ones that are letting go of that, you know, legacy and selling the land, selling the property to the highest bidder. And then you want to holler and scream about gentrification.
Yes.
Who gave it up? When your grandparents and your great-grandparents and ancestors worked so hard to get it and hold it and maintain it, and then as soon as you see some dollar signs, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just get this money. Now I'm gonna go move down south.
Exactly.
And, you know, get a house and get a car.
Oh my
But
God.
that's not, you know, that's just that these happen to start from scratch basically, and don't even make sense.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting excited because that's literally what I had this long conversation with my mom about that. And that's exactly what I told her. I said, you know, Ma, everybody asked me, why do I love Brooklyn? And I said, one of the reasons why I fell in love with Brooklyn was because when I first started going there some years, about maybe 10, 15 years ago, I remember going to like Bed-Stuy and seeing like all these black people. And they were black owned. And even in Flatbush, you got West Indian owned. And they made me, I got a high off of that. And I always, and you know, fast forward, you know, of course I moved there, and that's when I first started seeing all these white people moving in next door where I was staying, you know, these white, all you could hear is construction, you know, and now I'm like, wow, like you go to Bed-Stuy and it's like totally different, you know, everybody's complaining, oh, they took Brooklyn, and I literally said the exact same thing you said, how that hurt me, because one of the things, you know, going back to what I was saying, people always ask me, why do I move to New York? Well, it was because of that, and because I'm like, I want to do that. I want to create my business. But I don't want no one moving me out. I don't think that is fair, and I don't want anyone telling me I can't move to Brooklyn because of the cost of living. I'm just gonna better myself and make enough money to where I can live wherever I want to live, and not allow what some of and invest in the area.
Like if you're not purchasing, you know, your condo or a brownstone or a building or something, you know, investing that way, you know, it doesn't make sense. You pay $2,000 a month for a hole in the wall. Like you pay that in a mortgage, so it appreciates into something.
Right. And that was my thing exactly. And it literally almost makes me tear up, because I love Brooklyn so much. Like when I think of what it's becoming, because that was what I like. I don't want to go, and I'm not racist or anything, but I love feeling my people. I love being, I'm not big in it. People say, well, go to Atlanta. Atlanta don't touch me like that. It don't touch my heart like that. Like, right.
You know, I don't have, you know, nothing to keep against, you know, people in their orientation or whatever to you, but it just seems like that's the metropolis for the gay community. I don't have no business being there.
Right.
It work for me.
It just reminds me of a black San Francisco, like, you know.
Exactly, it's black.
That's what I always call it.
That's a good one. I'm about to say that.
Because you know, that's like anytime I hear Atlanta, even when I was younger, we lived in Birmingham, which is only like an hour away from Atlanta. So we would go to Atlanta a lot, and I used to just be like, "What's the hype?" Like I never got it. I just don't feel my soul isn't in Atlanta like that. So, girl, I'm just like,
everybody was like, just, you know, like migrating there, like it was the great, you know, like place and space to be, because if you're not in education and working in a university or in healthcare or something like that, then, or real estate, I don't know how you going to thrive.
Exactly. Like, what's that guy's name? A guy on YouTube, he's a gay guy. He's like buff. dang, what is his name? He does videos specifically trying to warn people, like, why are y'all moving to Atlanta? He was like, Atlanta is not what y'all think it is. Like, he always does videos on that. And he talks about how it's just, honestly, it's just a big, like, freak scene. It's nothing else. It's not like what people think. Yeah, the cost of living is cheaper. Yeah, a lot of actors and, you know, you got Tyler Perry. He has his studio there and stuff like that. But
the cost of living is cheaper, but also still depends on what kind of money you make. And if you always be working at the Wiggly, then the cost of living is being cheaper.
Exactly.
You know, because you can't find nothing else.
Exactly. And is it just me? And I'm glad that you're like this, because whenever I would talk like this to my other friends, like, they would just get quiet and just like I don't think they understood, but I'm so passionate about this. Like, it used to piss me off to see all those black people moving, because I'm like, why are y'all doing this? Like, why? Because somebody writes you a high check. Why can't we just keep our girl down low? Oh my goodness, so many people have moved to Charlotte from New York. Like, it's in Connecticut, like that, New Jersey, the whole area. But people feel like that's stupid. Why you listen? I'm tired of running. I want to be a better person to where I can be anywhere I want to be. I don't want to run. I want to be where I want to be. And I'm tired of us doing it as people. And then we, like you said, complain, oh, white people, gentrification. People only do to you what you allow them.
Exactly. Like, I wish that we trusted each other enough, you know, in our community to, like, you know, get 2 or 3 families together, you know, buy a brown everybody live on the floor, you know what I'm saying? And, like, just, you know, hold on or just flip it and sell it or something like that. You know, so we get take it back.
Weird, bro.
Right.
I was murking them, bro. You don't know how it
We
is.
can literally take back these lives, but we have to be strategic, you know, about how we do it. But we don't trust each other with each other's money, because we got to struggle so much to get it that it's just like, well, I'm going to just take care of me and mine, and we're going to be good, and that's it.
And you know what? That's one thing that that just turns me even more on about West Indian guys. I was staying at a home. I rent out spaces when I move. When I go to New York, I rent out Airbnbs or whatever, and or I say Airbnb. And this black guy, he was Jamaican, and we were talking about like rental, like we were talking about like the cost of living, and he was telling me that he's gotten offers. And I said, you're not leaving, are you? He was like, hell no. He was like, I'm staying here. And I was just like, see, I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, and I noticed a lot of West Indians, they were like, nah, like if you go to Flatbush, they're still there. Exactly.
You know, in the present generations, like, you know, I think, you know, like regular black folks is like so far removed from, you know, the generations that was here that worked to get the land and, you know, all of that. But when people come in from other countries, they like immediately.
Right.
You know, I met a guy today, the guy that manages the car rental place that I was going to. He's not even a citizen yet. Like, he was like, yeah, I'm waiting on this government shutdown thing to get situated because I'm supposed to have my citizenship interview. But you running a whole, like, you know, running business.
They be doing it. Let me tell you something. Me and my sister had a long ass conversation about like West Indians and stuff because of like Chloe, my daughter, her father. They're originally from Trinidad, but they live in this really big apartment home, and it's so nice. And I know they pay arm and a leg. And his mom, she says she's a teacher, but I'm like, I know they be having money because she always goes like back and forth to Trinidad like 2 to 3 times a year. Like, they dress really nice. Like, they always like be knowing stuff. Like, they were like, well, when you wanted to move back in New York, they was like, let us know. And he was like, yeah, my mom, she be knowing stuff and da da da. I'm like, yo, that's one thing I like about West Indians. Like that's why I love West Indians, man. Because I'm telling you, y'all need to. And then me and my sister was saying, my sister was like, you know, they be holding out, you know, they be having money. I was like, I know.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, I don't know what's the West Indian family that I know that don't own a house.
Right, but that's right. And them houses be nice too.
They be in Queens, Brooklyn.
staying in them nice ass houses like that. Like that last Haitian dude that I couldn't get over. Girl, his house was nice. I was like,
yeah, the whole family being there together.
Yes.
They money together and they just keep buying shit.
He said that too. He said that he was like, my family did that. I was like, wow. I was like,
That's how they be having to get their restaurants because they have their home, and then you can get your, put the home up against the bid to get the capital to start your business. That's how they do it, and it all makes sense because that's just lucrative for everybody. And then you ain't out here busting your ass for somebody else's time clock. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, because his cousin, everybody done lived in their house.
Yeah, and they'll let you. They be like, look here, work, get your money up, and then when you got your money, then you go purchase your own. Keep it going like that.
Why can't African Americans? Why can't we do stuff like that? It's like
I said, we've just been conditioned, not to have as soon as the kid get, old enough to work or whatever, you just kick them out the house. Like, yeah, get your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't be the goal to be like, oh, I'm gonna just go get my own and never stay with my family or whatever. Like, nah, you're supposed to stay, and not saying you be a freeloader or whatever, but you stay in a home as long as you can and get your money up.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of going out there as soon as you start working and then spend all your money as soon as you get it, that doesn't make any sense. So you go out there, you get the profession or do whatever, save up your money, and then you buy, you invest. You know what I'm saying? Just go out here and just start renting and you making somebody else rich.
Right. And I think that's why my dad is the way. My dad is like sort of like West Indian men are, and I think maybe that's why I like them because my dad was raised by African. Like my great grandfather was straight from Sierra Leone, and my father's father, which is my grandfather, wasn't there. He was this American dude that was just basically a bad father. So my great grandfather took my father in and raised him, and he was old school. He was a lot older, so he taught him a lot of like tough stuff and about family and stuff like that. I think that's where my dad gets that from. Because my dad is just like,
it's really a part of our culture, but we've got so far removed
yes,
from it,
yes.
So I'm just looking forward to just changing that paradigm, for my family and for the people, that I know that are trying to do the same thing,
Yes, because I like my dream. I'm telling you, I want to have that brownstone, and I want it to be nice. And girl, we can do it.
Like Brooklyn is one of my favorite movies. Like, yo, they just have this nice house with all the levels, it's mad people in it, but they still, they still have their own property, and they were struggling, to maintain it or whatever. They was like, I'm losing this house,
Exactly. Damn, I wish Americans were like that, man. It pisses me off. But you know what? I'm like that. Yes. Yeah, because listen. Well, I've been watching like extra because I've always been into like motivational like messages and stuff. But I've been really. Have you ever heard of Dan Pena? He's a
brain.
Okay. Girl, because he's a billionaire, and a lot of people don't get that, and I'm just like, what is it? Because I believe in myself. I do. I hadn't always believed in myself. I'm going to be honest, but I know that I'm capable of doing it, and so I'm going to go for that goal. And I don't give a rat's ass what I have to do. I don't care what anyone says. People probably gonna think I'm crazy. I don't care. It's not about them.
I definitely have the ability because I've even, in the short time that I've known you, put your business together quite quickly. You know what I'm saying, and started having your clientele and stuff like that with the reading. I was really impressed by how quickly you was able to get
Thank you.
Yeah. Why did you have to do that?
You definitely have the ability
Oh.
and the know-how to get it done, you know.
Oh, thank you. I mean, that was one of the things me and my sister was talking about, the fact that I always create these projects for other people usually. And I was asking myself, like, what is that called? Like, is there stuff? My sister was like, girl, that's actually a thing that people do. So, you know, I'm like, I love creating. I love startups. So I just gotta find that thing. You know, every millionaire has that story, that one thing. And for me, it's not just about the money. Of course, you know, I know God has told me, and I know that I am here to fulfill a certain purpose. But like Dan Penna said, it's hard for you to fulfill that purpose and help other people when you don't have what you're supposed to have. So get to that certain level first. Yes, or get to the level that you need to be in before you can help other people. Like he says, I can help millions of people because I'm a billionaire. You know, and it's not, you know, the thing is people don't believe in themselves. They say, oh yeah, you know, whatever, that ain't gonna happen. But I believe anything is capable of happening. I honestly believe, you know, and I'm glad I got into the spirituality thing because that really kind of opened up my faith more when it came to a lot of things. How I see things. So I have a lot of ideas though. I got like notebooks full of like business ideas and, you know, just notes and stuff like that. So I'm really gonna like start putting stuff together. You know, but yeah, girl, I mean, you can do it too. We can do this.
I mean, you want to workshop, you know, like you said, brainstorm and then workshop it. So ideas off of me or whatever. I'm here.
Yes.
And I was talking to one of my friends today and just talking about how, you know, I could be, he was like, you know, I was telling him how sometimes I just lay awake at night, you know, with my mind racing. And he was like, I think that's less about you just, you know, thinking about overthinking and more about you being like, just feeling like indecisive because you have all these ideas and stuff that you don't know. Like, okay, which one to take and which one to work on and commit myself to. I do that, then is that the right one or am I overlooking something or whatever?
Yeah.
You know? And he was like, you just gotta like take that leap of faith. And you know, and so he was talking about something in the intuition. I was like, man, I wish that talking to my own girl about, you know, listening to that, you know.
Yes.
You see that, right? You see that, right? Did you see that? Did you see that? Dude, what? Oh yeah.
We had that conversation just to be like, okay, I know I'm feeling like this, but I'm thinking I should do this. And sometimes we think ourselves right into the damn corner, right into trouble, you know.
Yes.
You gotta go with spirit, man.
Girl, it was something about 3 or 4 months ago when I did a reading on myself, and I asked how the healing business was gonna go. And I literally saw it, God say, and I know it was saying that it was going to be a success, but that God had something better for me. And I literally cried. I was like, but now I'm like, I get it now. I get it. You know, I was all in my head, girl, just like you were saying, like, but you know, and so. Oh, but one thing I am learning, you know, if you are going through little projects and you're doing little things, those things are sometimes stepping stools to help us get into that bigger thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like something that I know that all that I did wasn't for no reason. You know, I did learn a lot in my personal life from it, but I also think that it's going to help for this next thing. So, yeah, girl, I'm ready, and girl, we got to do this, and I think we both are. I know, ain't no think. I know we both are gonna be successful. I think that we had to go through some things, but I think once we get to our goals and once we reach them, that's when all that the love and all of that is gonna come and everything's gonna flow, girl.
Yeah. I'm ready. I'm working, working towards it.
Come here!
Like you said,
King!
I need to get back into my writing and my journaling and just putting all of this down into writing. Like, I bought a little, just separate, like, notepad, little, decorative notebook just to keep on my bed. So even though at those times when I do, like, just randomly wake up at 2 in the morning and then I can't go back to sleep, like, I have to get it all out. My friend was like, he was like, just talk out loud, make a voice recording of yourself and talk out loud, or if you want to write it, just write everything down, jot down notes, or, all the things that are coming to you so you can get it out, and then you can be back at peace, and then you come back to it and reflect and, have it make it all make sense, and turn it into something,
Do you ever feel like there are certain blocks that you've created from getting to those goals?
Well, I know usually my biggest block is just that fear of failing. Like, if I feel like I'm not prepared enough to succeed 100%, then I won't move forward, and so that does block me from, getting a lot of things done because, it's not going to be perfect. I just have to accept that, and even if I do fall, as long as I, try, get back up and try again, that's the perfection, that's the process of the perfection is continuing to work on it, and just knowing that, okay, that first time didn't work out, I'm going to try this, 10, 12, 100 more times until it looks like what I need it to look like. And then those lessons and experiences on the journey of getting there, is what really molds it in the first place.
Yes. I heard, my bad. Yeah, I heard one of the speakers I listen to every day. He said perfection equals paralysis. And so try to remember that because I think that I've had that issue too. I think that may be a Virgo thing because I have Venus in Virgo and some other places, but that was something that I dealt with. I've always been a perfectionist since I was a kid. Like I have like my makeup, everything, it has to be this way. But I realized that, that's crippling. I've realized that recently. And so just know that people, as a matter of fact, I heard that most millionaires or just, creators, good creators like Warren Buffett and stuff, they will test out like a theory. They'll test out something. And if it doesn't work after a certain amount of time, they instantly just go on to the next thing or something like that. Instead of just, trying to, just being stuck like, or trying to, just don't be so hard on yourself, when it comes to that, because it's not going to be perfect. You're definitely going to make mistakes, and there is going to be failures at times. Like, and I think that's why I took it so hard. Not to put it back on me, but I think I took it so hard when I knew the universe was like, I got something better for you. That's gonna be because I was just like, wow, I put so much money and energy and work and stuff, Yeah, but
sometimes when I feel like when we're really on the right path, like there's just a certain wave, like there's a certain flow that you don't feel so much pushback. You don't feel like it's so arduous and so, hard, and you gotta do so much work to make every little piece happen, because it's meant, for you. So there's going to be, once you start the momentum, it's going to be a certain level of flow where you just you can release the reins and everything just holds into place.
Yes.
But when you feel like you're having to just you feel like your back is up against the wall and you having to just push so much, then sometimes that's just us and our own ego and not wanting to let go of something that, is really not for us in that time period. Not to say that it won't ever be for us, but, it's just not for right now.
Right.
You kind of make that happen.
Yes.
And wondering why, things are so hard and, because you're blocking your blessings that way.
And that was what I noticed, because at first I was just like, oh, well, I'm going to keep pressing. But then I started noticing I was getting more and more clients, but my energy was depleted like fuck. I mean, girl, I was feeling like, and that's why I would be like, oh, I need a break, because it was taking so much from me. And I knew that when you're doing spiritual stuff, you have to constantly balance yourself out and but I get it now, but there was a purpose. I learned a lot. Now it's time to move on. And but like my sister said, we learn things. It's something that I had to experience in that, or there's something that you're gonna have to experience in these different aspects of different things that you're doing. That's gonna later on, you probably don't know it now, but you're like, oh, now I see why the universe had me on there, or why that just for a little while, why this didn't work,
When you figure out enough is enough. Like I say, I'm figuring out now. Like I had to go through that kind of weird relationship with Kenneth to figure out that that's not what I want anymore. You know what I'm saying? I had to simply go through that to figure out, what, this is what I don't want.
Right.
The opposite of what I'm actually looking for, but I wouldn't have came to that realization if I wasn't going through it. You know what I'm saying? I would have just kept kind of being complacent in that level of just, having, just random careless relationships or whatever, when I really just want a commitment, but I didn't feel like I could attain that, or I didn't feel like maybe I was worthy of that.
Yes.
And so that's why I just kept putting myself in a position of not getting it.
Yes.
But now I know that yes, I am worthy, yes, I can have that.
Yes.
But I just have to get myself in that space and start putting that type of energy out there in order to get it,
That's right. And and one thing, as we're going through it, because we're on the same journey, girl. I'm convinced. Everything that you're saying, I'm like, I'm there too. And oh God. Exactly. Let me find out we were twins in the past life. Because literally, I mean, but we could just be real soul sisters. Because they say soulmates come in different ways. You have soul sisters, whatever. But what was I saying? I don't know. It'll come back to me. I thought that was funny, but yeah. I mean, we go through our little things, and we'll look back at this and be like, I mean, because I even do that now. Like, I look at guys I dated in high school. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and you could have told me I didn't like him, but really, I really did. Now I look back at it, like.
Oh, what's up?
A lot of people, just because they were giving
All right.
me the attention, but I wasn't really interested.
Yes.
In them. It was almost like I felt obligated to give them the time of day because they were paying attention to me. So it was like
Free. This jiggle.
It was like a charitable
Girl.
interaction.
Yes.
Like, okay, well, you said I'm pretty, or so now I feel like I owe you something. Like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't owe anything. Mama. If you don't feel that person, then it's okay.
people, girl, I'm so glad you mentioned that. I just told my son that earlier. We had a conversation. And he was like, well, why were you with? Like, people always ask me. I've been engaged like 3 times. And people always ask me, like, why, what happened? And why would I be with them? Like, what happened? And one of the things, and I told them, I said, look, back then, I did things for the wrong reasons. I'm not even going to lie. Like, my first fiance, he was a really nice guy. You know what I mean? And I remember saying, when we talked about marriage, I'm going to do this because I don't want to be a single mother anymore. I don't want to raise my child by myself. And this is when I just had Caleb.
What the heck, bro?
But that was it, I mean, he was handsome and he was nice, and I could see him as someone who would have been a good father. But I wasn't in love with him. Like, there was no, like... And I just thought, well, love will grow. Honey, It did not, girl. And then when I found out, before we even got married, I found out that he was messing with somebody, and I dropped it, and I left, and I never went back. And even my second fiance, I remember.
What the heck?
I remember when I first met him, I was just like, ew, like, he's not even my type or anything. But you know how, like, you have those guys that, like, always, like, pursue you, like you said, the ones that, like, you feel obligated, like, oh, well, he's so nice, he's been there for me, let me give him a chance, And I remember thinking, like, oh, well, maybe this could be the one for me. I don't want to miss out because I'm being, like, picky and, just all the wrong things. And it was never there, even with my husband. When I did get married, it was the same thing.
What up, Cut?
And God literally took me through all of this stuff. So I finally got down. I realized, wow, I not only deceived myself, but I was deceiving them too, because there was no love there. Like,
is that kid? Your shots, kid.
Flirt with or whatever, but these are guys that have really been trying to pursue me for like 10 years plus. And they will probably be, really good to me and like really faithful in catering or whatever, but I'm not attracted to them. So, and it's just, I can't like get away from that part. Like, if I'm not physically and like sexually attracted to you, I'm not gonna see anything else about you being
that's because I ran out of pistol ammo. That's the only reason why you killed me. I ran out of pistol ammo.
Honestly, I'm glad you mentioned that. I honestly don't think that makes you shallow, because you gotta think like this. I mean, relationships are hard, right? I mean, but if you aren't attracted to that person, I think that when things get tough, like our relationships, that may send you over edge. Because the attraction, I feel like that's supposed to be, I'm not saying it has to be somebody that's like, the best in the world, but I think you have to at least be attracted to them. I think so.
Bro, they was double teaming me. Okay, I got 35 kills.
I'm just like, what? What's going on here?
What else is
Like, he must be taking really good care of her, but I'm not that woman that could be like,
What, Cut?
you guys go to bed with the monkey every night because he's, rubbing my feet or, catering to me or whatever. Like, I just can't do it.
Now, I used to do that. I used to date anybody. I used to just be dating guys.
Mama.
Like,
people.
I
could have done it many a time. I don't know. I never figured it out. And I had girlfriends and
Brett! They just always double team me, bro. Yo, double team me.
Let me tell you something. I'm glad you didn't do that, because when I did it, now I look back and I'm like, why the fuck did I do that? Like, it wasn't like all the guys from my past, not all of them, but the ones that I was with like that, I'm like, damn, not only was they assholes, but they wasn't even cute. Like I wasn't even attracted to them. Like, and that makes you even more mad later. Like what the fuck? Why did I do that? You know? So, honey, trust me, you were right on that because, I'll be looking at them pictures like, what the hell was I thinking? And I knew that I wasn't attracted to them. Like this one guy, what was his name? Russian. So many dudes. Anyway, I was just like, it was hard for me to even like kiss him and stuff. Like I don't know what I was thinking. Girl, and I'm like,
I think always should be somebody fight.
You know, and kind of going on in that department, but they're just not, you know, they're not attentive men, they're not catering men, they're not loving men, you know, and that's kind of why I ended up kind of falling for the kid's dad because he's, you know, he's very good looking, you know, and he's funny, he's pretty, you know, pretty intelligent or whatever. He's a little, he's very straight, you know what I'm saying, and I kind of grew up on the, like a more perfect proper type of side of things, so we will always clash there because, you know, even though he did teach me some things, I was a little naive, you know.
Hey,
like,
let's go. Tyson, I won.
I was sheltered, so
I wonder who in the like. Hey, did you hit the like key, that like button?
and not paying attention to his surroundings, and he was like, you can't be looking
Oh,
around me like
oh yeah, I got 35 kills.
good.
He got 26. I got the most kills.
And, you know, be in the project, and you can't be just out here like, get your life together, you know. So I
25 deaths and 25 kills.
putting me on and stuff like that or whatever, but you know, but he was also very like, you know, if I get out the shower, he didn't want me to lotion my body. He was like, I want to lotion, you know.
Oh,
Shea butter on you, lotion on you.
I skipping this map.
girl, it seemed like them guys be the main ones that be doing that. Like the thug it out. They love nurturing.
I just couldn't believe it because I had never been like, you know, catered to like that. He just loved to like, you know, just rub me and, you know, touch my body and kiss my feet and, you know, do all of that type of stuff, which I like.
That's what be them thugged out dudes like stuff like that though. I ain't gonna lie.
We always go to the same map.
He's not bad, and he's actually the only person
Alright, y'all.
that
Hold on.
could very easily make me
Yeah, hold on. I'm not gonna end the live stream yet.
I just thought that I was one of those women that couldn't achieve orgasms because I was always that way and I was never coming. So I was just like, okay, maybe it's just not for me. I feel like having sex is fun, but
It's the same place.
Right.
you know, I'm the only person that can make myself for whatever reason. But then I got with him, and every damn time I'm like, yo, what is it? And he wasn't like big or, you know, nothing like that. It was just, he wanted to make sure that I was looking, I guess, you know, he was paying enough attention to be like, however you want it, however you like it, but I'm doing this on me, and I'm just really happy with it, you know.
I didn't start
So he got.
I didn't start orgasm until I started messing with the West Indian dudes, child. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it was crazy to me. I was like, when I finally started having it on a regular basis, I was like, why was I sleeping with that many people and not having no, like, they was just having a good old time.
Right.
With me, because I'm just all type of freak, and you won't get all type of nuts on me, but I wasn't getting
Don't tell me that you
out of it on that end. You know, like I said, it was fun. But if anything, I was just, you know, getting excited by the fact that I was able to, you know, control them sexually or whatever. So
Right.
that's really probably why I kept doing it, because it was a little empowering to be able to, you know, bring them to orgasm.
Bro, they always double teaming me.
Right. But you know,
a lot of times they didn't even care whether I got it or not. They didn't even ask me, like, well, did you, or that, like, most of the time.
Right.
And, you know, call it a day.
I was gonna say, but don't regret those experiences though. because you know I used to regret a lot, but now I cherish those things because honestly, those experiences that I went through with all those different people is what helped me know what I want and what I really do appreciate and love. And I think for me, I settled for so long because I knew I didn't like the men in my community for whatever reason.
Right? Did you see that?
I didn't know. Ooh, I had forgot.
I was going there.
I had forgot because, like I said, there wasn't a lot of like foreign men when I grew up. In in the South where I'm from, and so when I started like going online, I started all these like foreign men were
Right, they always
attracted to me, and I was attracted to them. And when I started messing with them, that's when my sex life changed. And I know it's not because of that. I know it's because that's what I like, And so because you found out, and I think you're still finding out, and I'm still finding out, we're still finding out what we love and desire. It's gonna get better. So don't regret those past experiences and stuff. Hold on 1 second, okay? Caleb, did you call me? You got me on there talking about sex. Caleb.
What?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I need you to cut that out. Why are you taping it? You're so silly. Hello? Yeah, so.
Yeah, who was it that kind of,
Your shots, kid.
Honestly, I've always myself been into that.
What?
But this was years, like when I was younger, I was into stuff like that, but I didn't know it was a name for it. I didn't share my desire for that because I just thought, well, no one's gonna understand, Which honestly, it was like that because half of the people that I spent most of my, sexual experiences when I first started sex it was people that I didn't like, and it was just, But once I started, once again being around the people that I like sexually, it opened me up, and I started just sharing those with people. And then they're like, oh, that's called this and that. And they're like, oh, you should check this out. Or you should check that out. And so I saw it or whatever, right? And so I remember talking to my husband about it when me and my husband was together. And I was telling him like about how I always was into that type of thing. And he was an open book, but there was no connection with me and him sexually. And so we broke up, and then I was on this website called Live Me. Have you ever heard of Live Me? And I would do videos talking about like open sexuality with thousands of people, and I had all these followers, and people was like, "Yay," And this guy messaged me from Atlanta. He used to be a cop, and he invited me to this group called Unicorn Playpen. And in that group, it was like a lot of people who, who would talk about that type of thing all the time. And it was a different group. But so that's what opened me up even more. So that's pretty much how. And because of that guy, he was the one that was telling me about FetLife and all these different other websites and stuff like that. So.
Right. Yeah, I guess, there's certain things that I like that I've seen maybe like in more like in porn and stuff like that I've kind of been drawn to, but I didn't really dive into like, the lifestyle side of it because I didn't really have any partners that I did the stuff that I
Every time I want to show somebody.
So I'm like, am I really into the lifestyle, and, want to dive into, knowing other people beyond just visualizing it, what I'm saying, and being into it like that. So I still haven't really explored that whole side of it, like on a physical level. Like there's this guy that I met in one of the groups that I'm in on Facebook or whatever. But he
I don't know shit.
are like, you know, like deep in lifestyle and they go to the parties and, you know, that sort of thing. So he's been trying to like get me to come out to these events or stuff like that. And I'm like, what am I going to walk into? It's just going to be like one big orgy and everybody's, you know, like just all over the place touching each other and doing all of this stuff. I don't know if I'm about that life, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe I was like, can I just like go and like be in a corner and watch and see? You know, like, okay, nobody touch me, but I'm just going to look at y'all, do what you do, you know what I'm saying? Like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know, you're going to want to participate once you're in there. You're going to see it's good. But I was just like, I don't know. I also feel like it's just going to be like a rumor, like where
And that's usually that's a part of that art attractive. I mean, I had, you know, I always, like I said, into that, but when I did that guy, I connected with a lot of people. You know, I told you, right? Well, it was a different person, right? Okay, so, yeah, oh well, in a sense.
Red.
I was in this group, right?
That'd be ugly anyway. I need to be like a shit on her. I was murking him. Murking! It's over now. Hey, you wanna use that AK on me? Bet. I'm gonna mess you up. It's because I committed suicide. Alright. I was born to 7. He has the best gun in the game, AK-47. Oh, I ain't being last now. I ain't being last now. The boy is the best now. 100 more years. don't say that. You don't freaking say that. This game is freaking cheating. I'm free. Game's cheating. They're cheating. Watch it. Bro, this game is true and he's supposed to be dead. I know what I know what I need. Rose. He didn't even hit me. He's freaking short the freaking wall. I shot him like 5 times in the freaking head. This is over. I'm done with this. I'm playing GTA.
You're more of a submissive type.
Piano playing.
I am too. Right. First of all, I don't want, if I'm going to get someone masculine like that, I'm going to do it. Like, it's not what it is. Right. I met a guy I'm just like that. I'm very good.
Far Cry is trash. I shot him in the freaking head 4 times. You freaking see that? Well, every time I get shot one time, I always die first. No, it's over. It's over. My gun. No.
I'm telling you. I mean, I'm thinking about it now. We're thinking a lot over talking about something else now, sort of. But that business aspect when it comes to the company, I think my brain is that I was thinking that, people get jealous. People, they say at start, when you start like, oh,
Right here.
Some people be, they'll say, yeah, it's this. It's not really that. Like it is. And that creates problems, right? But yeah, anyway, he got, I had to start talking to him because he kept between one and receiving separately. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Now, can't even name how I got kicked. No idea. You know, it's funny. It's funny. It's funny you say that because after I did my taxes last night, on the whole, my cousin, just like he sends a picture and says, yeah, and I was like, no. And I was like, this is so funny because he must feel the energy about the chop for real because that's the first thing. Because at first I was like, man, I'll get it when I get it. But the universe is showing me, and has shown me, why I'm good, and I'm not sure I've seen all Win this game.
Play off